Hello, Storytime tubers, and welcome back to Let's Play some Lobotomy Corporation. So it's long due for a lore episode, and if you're expecting another day, I apologize, but we have to wait till the next episode for that. I haven't been following up on my my lores very much. I think I've basically skipped both the welfare, disciplinary, and some of the central command sections, and it's just going to get worse the longer I wait. I intended from the beginning was to, as soon as you finished learning about them, was to read them, and that was all good when I didn't have all these crashes and bugs and glitches, and then I lost track of everything. And honestly, with 2-hour-long episodes, it's hard to fit it all in. Anyway, let's just get to it. We've already read everything up and down to the mountain and the melting love, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure we read this, right? Man, I sure hope we read it. I feel like we read this one because I know I read the mountain. 100% we read the mountain, and someone in chat was recommending we remember it. Somebody who sacrificed himself to blow it up because it just. Actually, this might have been what appeared during that big breakout where Gebra fought off all the claws and stuff when the head attacked, basically. That's... I got a feeling that's probably what the relation is. This thing got generated out of that disaster. Anyway, let's start with the shoes, because I'm sure we didn't read these. Elegant red shoes for women. The design is antique, but there's no telling where and how they were made. A strong urge to try them on is induced. The changes that occur from wearing the abnormality can first be seen in the eyes. The next change observed is that the victim is unwilling to take off the shoes. They will also act upon all and any desires they have. If someone attempts to hamper them from acting on their desires, they try to take off the shoes will control the host. Sometimes leads to murder. It is unknown whether the host's will is involved in the process, but considering the sharp increase of desire and aggressiveness, the host's primal urges seem to remain intact. Wait a second. I did read this one. I totally remember reading this one. Look, if I didn't read it, I apologize, but I'm almost positive we already did. Because I remember the you shoulda fixed this earlier, right? I remember reading that. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I got confused. It's been a long time. Little Red. I'm a pro. I used to be expensive, but I'll cut you some slack here under one condition. Hand over that goddamn bastard if you ever see him. I will hang his head on my bed. Only then can I fall asleep without nightmare. A female warrior with a striking red hood. Her frayed and patched hood has initials embroidered on it, which are unreadable because of the damage she has taken. The hood is taken. Rumor says her hood used to be white, but became red after being soaked in blood countless times. It turned out not to be true. Fix this, Michael. I don't know what that means. Michael was one of the Sephiras, I think, before they became Sephiras. So that's just a rumor. She never actually had a white hood. I don't know. Before coming to the facility, she was a mercenary wandering around without residence. She did not trust others well, and has extreme fondness for battles. She's a lot like Gibera. She is unusually uncomfortable with her parts of flesh being exposed, and looking at mirrors. Also, numerous symptoms of paranoia have been observed in her behaviors. She has strong desire to resolve emergency situations if one breaks out. She says it's a contract, since this behavior consequently helps the management process. The company recommended putting it to use. The following contains must-read for information in all class. If she faces the big and might be bad wolf, she goes out of control. She will undergo extreme shift in personality, embitterment disorder, and other psychological dangerous disorders which result in serious collateral damage. Thus, extreme caution is advised when working on Little Red. No victory will come in our battle. All I think about is how to kill that bastard in the most gruesome way possible. Thus, I will drink no toast. I will celebrate in no way. When I get used to grinding an axe instead of picking flowers in the garden. When I got used to grinding an axe instead of picking gardens and the flowers, I was 15. Okay. I wonder if there was supposed to be a potential link between her and Snow White. And that, because like the big bad wolf also is Little Red Riding Hood and the three little pigs. So maybe there's some connection there. because we do have an abnormality for Snow White's apple. We don't have it, but it exists. A short one. Bird of Judgment. It's a bird that carries around an unfair scale and judges the living in a dark forest. The scale always tilts to the same direction, but it doesn't know this because its eyes are covered. Or it knows and just ignores the facts. A long time ago, the bird was once a fair judge. Its skill tilted based on the sins committed. Bird of Judgment made a scale that was capable of weighing any sin to protect the forest. In the past, Number Zero's eyes could see through everything. Its eyes were always shining, like the stars in the night sky. But it gave its eyes to the big bird to save the forest. Now its eye sockets are hollow. The bandage flutters in the wind as if it would rip off at any second. The bird's face was once covered in gleaming feathers, but they are all gone. All that remains is the unfair scale. Bird of Judgment continues on with the judging. So that's interesting. It's a different bird trilogy than Fiery Bird, but it is related to Punishing Bird, because they both have the same forest they come to. It moved out of the forest it had been living and never went back. So Punishing Bird and Bird of Judgment are related, and there is hints of a big bird, which hopefully we'll get to see. We don't need to worry about... I still haven't actually finished researching this thing. Oh, we need another throwaway employee for that one. The game just kept crashing. I forgot what I was doing. Okay, the magical girls are often kind of interesting too for stories. So she'll be related to the Knight of Despair to some degree. The first desire started from the bite of a sweet apple. We've been banished from Eden for that sin, and now we're standing inside a vast orchard. My basket is so large, all the fruit of the world cannot make it full. But it is bad to desire honey. Is it bad to desire honey when there are flowers? After all, we are born to pursue happiness. Happiness became obsession. Obsession became greed, and greed hardened to a golden amber. The first happiness, still smiling, is inside it. The first seed of desire originated from the pure need for happiness. The seed, small at first, grew larger and harder, hungering for more. As the days went by, the seed turned into a piece of shiny gem. And enticed by its sheen, a hungry fish swallowed it. But it only made the fish hungrier. The desires of people go mostly unfulfilled. Most desires are abandoned. But they are not completely gone. They are buried deep in the subconscious, waiting to spring up at any moment. It only takes a tiny bit of bait dropped in the water for the hungry fish to come up and snatch it. The magical girl, now no longer magical, ate many things: power, money, honor, and other forms of pleasure. Oh, she ended up gobbling up anything she could find. Oh, now she acts on pure greed. But her will to be happy is still with her, surfacing from time to time. Humans believe themselves to be rational beings who can remain in control of themselves. But this is not true. Humans are never in full control of themselves. And no one knows this better than the King of Greed. Someone's diary. A lot of us secretly wished for a hero. They say there used to be something called a soul treatment. What is it like having one's soul ill? We're all healthy, but perhaps all of this may be a tragic illusion. There once were a people who tried to protect the world. We will remember them. We remember how they were destroyed. I know desire destroys everything. We no longer believe in something, nor do we hope for a miracle. We don't think much about why they've changed, and we don't blame them. We now know that endless desire brings despair. Sometimes I feel incredibly dejected, but I have no idea where it comes from. A lot of us secretly want a hero to save them. The sorrow of the world is deep. Desire runs deeper than agony. Sadness shall say, "Be gone, die!" But desire wants eternity, an immortality that can never be abolished. So I kind of had the feeling that the three magical girls were heroes at some point, but they each succumbed to, well, desire of some sort. Greed for one, and something else for this one. I forget the exact story. You can read it if you want to pause. You can reread it. A world... The one who dreamed of a world of peace turned greedy and started devouring everything. See, there's definitely some interrelation here. Maybe this one just was sad at seeing her teammates succumb to evil. Maybe. Anyway, that's that. Alright. We got a couple A-lifts over here. Yeah, that's the best. Alright, Censored is going to be an amazing story, no doubt about it. Any recorded attempts of Censored will cause severe censored of both speaker and listener. Therefore, any recordings of the appearance of Censored will not be tolerated. Any and all voice and written records containing descriptions have been redacted, let's say, and all the work pertaining to it must be given to a level 5 or a higher employee. There's higher than level 5? I want some of those employees. Randy, I feel so sorry for sending such a competent employee like you to the containment unit. This is probably Robert's the one we're sending in. Do you have any last words before proceeding? Of course, when I say last words, it's just precautionary. Robert. Well, there's no other choice. I have the highest resistance level against recognition delay. I've been apathetic towards everything since I was young. I was often told that I lack empathy and wasn't normal. Poor Robert. But when I joined here, my abnormal ability became the key to saving everyone. This is something you can never experience anywhere else. I'm telling you this again. Yes, you have the highest resistance level against the recognition decay, but that's only for the human standard. If you suffer from uncontrollable thoughts, or decide to count down from 10 but forget what 10 even is, or if you start to puke or drool, or you believe you're somewhere else and not in the company, or that you suddenly feel insignificant and think that not breathing is your only hope, then you must leave immediately. So it has some weird mental effects, obviously. If you tell me that one more time, it'll make 13, Randy. We won't be monitoring you in real time. All the cameras will be turned off. Your voice will be updated. Your voice record will be updated after the work is finished. Needless to say, I'm worried about you. Alright, repeat it all back. Go inside. Don't work. Just observe the task of Censored, who will be accompanying me inside. Oh, so 2 employees went in. It's there that where I will record everything that happens, even if Censored is in danger. Not this Censored, but Censored employee. Resist the urge to rescue unless ordered otherwise. Right? Correct. Now I will count to 10 and you will be disconnected. Good luck. Godspeed. I have no regrets. I consider myself very lucky compared to the others who are being fed to it. I mean, shown to it. The work. I get to leave my last voice record. Well, I mean last as a precaution, but... Alright, your record will be eternally archived, and all your fellow employees will remember you as redacted or censored. 3, 2, 1, end. Omitted. Randy! That looks just like our Censored from long ago. I forgot that I'm the only one who can see this. Censored and Censored seem they are able to breed. Censored, who was with me, became Censored. It seems to be a process of Censored. I feel a little sick, but I'm good. Censored just came out from Censored. Censored just started to scream like Censored. The cries, can you hear them? It reminds me of Censored. Censored sounds. Now I get it. This is our Censored. That's why Censored exists. This is the worst. This is worse than all the scenes I've seen. I can't move. It seems Censored has made me its next target. It's coming towards me. I will put the recorder in my Censored. I hope the record will help someone. Poor guy. I really don't know what it's supposed to be, but I suppose the idea is you're supposed to use your imagination a bit. What gets me is that it's like, that is our Censored. That's why Censored exists. Like, some of these just refer to employee B. You could just be like, employee B is being something by the thing. it would be better if we had different words. You know, employee B, just no name, and the abnormality. And then the abnormality is censoring employee B would probably read a little better. Anyway, even after we adopted a recognition filter, many managers lost their minds. Half of the reasons were due to censored. Can't even tell you. Even if we raise the recognition filter to the highest level, at the risk of having the employees or abnormalities be perceived as extremely simple, the manager will still become insane as soon as the abnormality comes in sight. We can't blind the manager just because of one abnormality. We are in a dilemma. The only solution we could come up with was the suggestion of an employee. It was to cover the abnormality with a giant blur. If any system issue deletes the blur from the abnormality, we will have to sincerely think of how to deal with the manager. So it's kind of curious that a level 5 employee can look at it and survive. Like, Robert does come out of there, supposedly, without being censored. But the manager is not even allowed to see it, because it's apparently really bad for managers. I'm really curious. I wish I knew more, honestly, because that thing's kind of crazy. Alright, this thing's pretty scary, too. And another long one, of course. This is why we get a separate episode. The machine takes the shape of a long cuboid. By the look of it, it may look like a simple grinder. But the existence of the thing's own will fills the criteria for abnormality. When approached, extra experiments are needed to determine how many meters the perimeter is, or touched, the employee put their bodies in the abnormality. Afterward, the machine's fan shuts, and the abnormality works on the task. Task takes approximately 5 minutes. After a few experiments, we've concluded that the abnormality desires the result of music from this interaction. There is no detailed research of the music, that air quotes music, but however, there is a hypothesis that the music has a special characteristic that attracts people based on the specific behavior of some employees or the psychological counseling record. If an employee is determined to be addicted to the music, they will need to be treated quickly to prevent any secondary damage they may cause. Excerpt from interview. I was supposed to be sent in alone. The abnormality looked rather unassuming, something like a machine used in a factory, as it didn't react to anything. But that day, Redacted insisted that we had to go there. He kept saying, the pale horse has responded to him. That's not something I know about either, if that's a thing in the game. I didn't think Pale Horse was thinking about me when it responded. Most of the abnormalities that I take care of are safe. Also, I'm very lucky. I thought that day would be the same. It wasn't. I mean, Redacted closely observed the abnormality. I just wanted to write the report quickly and get out, but he was thinking differently. He was sure there wouldn't be an abnormality that doesn't have special powers. I warned him not to get too close, but Redacted took a step closer, and suddenly, the thing came to life, opened its lid and swallowed him whole. Literally swallowed him whole. The lid closed, and a loud noise came from inside the creature. There was no way of knowing what was happening, but I was too terrified to do anything. Omitted. In the dark, I realized that the thing was playing an instrument. By crushing and cutting Redacted's body, it was creating a melody. As I was contemplating my horrific revelations, the lid opened. Bits and pieces of Redacted were in there. So little that you had to wonder what happened to the rest. Do you have to wonder that? Must read symptoms of intoxication by singing machine. Attempts to take other employees to the chamber of the singing machine by using physical force. The size of pupils are enlarged. Concentration and cognitive ability are greatly reduced. Does not try to listen to other music. Please add any additional symptoms that are found and immediately report the case if any employee is suspected of the above. Excerpt from incident. On a day, there was a disappearing incident of employee M1. 2 days later, on the other day, part of the body was found inside the singing machine. DNA analysis has found the corpse to be employee M1. Employees M1 was a new hire that had worked in the company for only 3 months. That's a pretty long time to not die. The employee had no record of an assignment with the abnormality. The employee assigned to the singing machine, Redacted, was the suspect. After an extensive investigation, Redacted confessed. I know it's crazy, but I had to hear that music again. It wouldn't get out of my head for months. I performed all kinds of experiments. When the machine takes in a cat, it plays 1 minute. Large dog, 2 minutes 30 seconds. Redacted music came from it. But nothing was like the music it made when it eats a human. It might sound ridiculous, but I feel satisfied after having heard it once more. That's pretty freaky, make no mistake. Luckily, we actually have never seen the clip-off counter go down. I was very careful not to send someone in with high fortitude, so you guys haven't actually seen it trigger. It's not that bad. It's got a lot in common with the red shoes, honestly. All right, we got one more Aleph and one more Wah, and then we are good. All right, not censored, but also nothing there. It's totally a normal human. Yep. It has the shape of a human, really, exactly, but it is surely not one. It surely is a human, though, clearly. At a certain period of time, it devours an employee and wears their skin. During that process, the bone structure and the organs are made a mess, so it takes a strange form. The creature does have a tongue, but it does not know how to talk, so therefore can only make meaningless sounds. There is no telling what is inside the shell, but its skin wears out continuously, so there is a need to change out and maintain the outer skin. It does not feel regular pain, so it does not care about broken bones. The creature may break its own bones and cut itself up in order to escape. More and more, I discover that this abnormality might be evolving. It shows the act of following the character of the person who is the owner of the shell, and it tries to make an attempt to equate itself with humans. When it escapes, it wears the skin of an employee it kills and mimics the person. Then, without any sign, it reveals its true form. More resemblance to human is shown compared to the early form. Now it is confirmed that the abnormality possesses bipedalism. Organs are in the proper position. With additional physical strength, employees are afraid of this form. They should be. Warning for something. If it has been confirmed that it has escaped and stood on 2 feet, then there is only one thing you can do. Place yourself in a proper posture and gather your hands neatly. Then pray to the god that you believe in and observe the situation. There's a reason I've been avoiding this thing's escape. It's pretty terrible. Interview number 4. If any one of us turns out to be crazy, 80% of the blame is on that creature. Like most abnormalities here, no one knows the reason for its existence. I don't know what's inside that makes it cover itself up with human skin, and I don't know how the skin wears out so quickly. I don't know why it would take care of its own skin. Why it wouldn't. Omitted, might just be a swear. When it's eating one of us, it's so great. It's so disgusting that it's psychologically damaging just to think of it. Anyway, going to the confinement zone to check on the skin status is real work. Just think of it, a colleague you talked to and laughed with a few days ago now has a broken neck and organs sticking out, crawling with 4 legs. That's not all the creature does. When I was new here, no one wanted to go in the room, so I was sent in. It was worse than now. It took the shape of a human twisted into God knows what. It tried to act like a human and tried to talk to itself in the mirror. It tried to regain its proper structure. Its actions felt like it was mimicking our behavior. You never know, it might be around pretending to be human. Warning. Personnel distance clearance must be level 3 or higher to read the document. The recording is a call from the creature confinement area's emergency phone. Telephones are installed in rooms of creatures with HE or higher threat level to enable quick response. Employee M3. Respond! This is confinement zone of nothing there. Emergency response department. ERD. This is the emergency team. How can I help you? I need a stun gun right now. I have an emergency situation. Can you specify the reason, please? The abnormality. It's ripping up the employees. Pardon? It's killing my colleague. We'll respond immediately. Please identify the employee that is being attacked. M26580, M26580, name redacted. I'm M3120 redacted. ID confirmed. What is happening to your colleague at this moment? Yeah, just please hurry. We need a weapon to control the creature. Oh god, this is... Can you please tell me what is happening? An abnormality is attacking my colleague. It's literally ripping my colleague apart. I can't do anything. Repeat, I need a weapon. An emergency response team has been dispatched. They will arrive shortly. Redacted. What's happening? Is it still a... Oh, Us. Redacted. What's happening? Is it still attacking your colleague? Yeah. Oh, no, I think it's done now. Has it stopped attacking your colleague? No, my colleague is... he is dead. I repeat, he is dead. How can you be sure? Because he looks... He is... Has he been ripped? What parts are damaged? All of them? I think it would have been creepier here. I know that, they're going for kind of a horror vibe. It would have been creepier if after a certain screech, employee M3 only repeated back what the ERD said somewhere around the end. I think that would have been even worse. But it didn't happen, so thank you for that. Given that, remember, this is all about mimicry. Maybe down here. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Interview log. Like the way our employees observe the abnormality, nothing is there is also observing us. And after using the employee's shell, it thinks of itself as the dead employee. Next, it imitates the usual behavior of the employee, talking habits, likes, dislikes, anything it can see. We don't know how carefully and for how long it has been observing the employees to imitate them. What I'm saying is, we can't treat it as a scary monster with no intelligence. Even now, it may be strolling about inside a shell of someone that we know. And it becomes more and more human. The transformation is also going faster. It's giving me goosebumps. When the day comes when we can't distinguish it from humans, it will be the day the company's destruction. We need to stay vigilant on this abnormality. The following record is a recording of unusual behaviors of employees that became the skin. Manager, manager! Hey, you've been calling manager since morning. What's wrong with you? What's with the smile? Anyway, I hope we can get pasta for dinner. Oh yeah, pasta with bacon? What? I mean, I sure love myself some spaghetti and lasagna and all sorts of stuff. But I don't know about putting bacon in there. Anyway, that was a test. Oh, I got an alarm. The latest employee who worked on nothing there to counselor's office immediately. Wasn't that you? Hey, say something. Manager. Manager. Now, the nothing there does say some weird things in-game in the audio behind the scenes, so it knows a couple more words. Employee B proceeded to take measure immediately upon hearing the word. However, nothing there ripped out of employee A, revealing his first form. Recording were audio only, leaving what exactly happened mysterious. The skin containing nothing there tries to impersonate the employee who tries to kill it. It mimics the behaviors of the words the employee it last saw. And many skins yell only one word, manager. As if I can help them. As if. Anyway, pretty cool. Oh yeah, I bought an extra armor when if you're still watching. When Pixel died, we lost one of these, but we had enough energy to buy an extra, so we're good. The only weapon we're missing is this one. And finally, for our final story time, Fiery Bird. Long, long ago, in a forest of outside land, lived a bird. Its feathers were grossly incandescent. Its feathers so incandescent that it could swallow the blackest darkness. Many hunters wanted its feathers. It was their pride and honor. There were many rumors about the bird, such as the one where it is said that those who could catch the bird would prosper through generations. Some even said one needs the feather to be a true hunter. Some said this feather is so strong that it can take the owner anywhere. Whatever it is, the bird was a symbol of adventure. The forest soon became full of people looking for the bird. They were not only hunters, but also adventurers and travelers. The once silent forest became crowded. People soon became bored with the rumors. They were no longer interested in the hunt. The fewer and fewer people visited the forest. When the bird finally became nothing but a legend. The bird eventually became a legend. Its eyes blinded by severe pain. There was only a blind bird that had bright feathers left in the forest. Eventually, the bird found a new forest. Many people lived in the forest. The bird just wanted their eagerness for the hunt. The bird, this is some terrible translation, make no mistake. Those who succeed in the hunt are granted the feather that countless hunters yearned. Caution is advised when hunting, for fiery bird comes. Rash actions, such as suppressing it, are not recommended. I was pretty rash when we first tried it. It is also not recommended to hunt the bird to prove one's bravery. Remember these hunters who had to return with empty hands. Every employee thinks, I can catch it, just a little bit more. It takes courage to give up when needed. So in case you're wondering, what happens for fighting the fiery bird? Well, if you made it all the way to the end of this episode, have a look at Jelka. Jelka has a very special feather. So the trick is you have to suppress it to get one. You don't actually buy it with points like normal. I believe you can get more than one. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3, but you should be able to get multiples. And they are WA class. And we don't have very many WA weapons. So this is actually quite nice. A very fast, long range, decent weapon. Better than the silly, whatever you call them, butterfly bullets. Definitely better. So that's cool. I like it. I like fast weapons as a general rule. So I'm going to have to suppress the bird a couple more times. And it does give pretty cool armor too. It doesn't have the best stats, but I think it looks quite nice. So we got those. And yeah, so that's going to be it for our episode today. A little story. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to do next time. It's going to be very similar to our last big episode, which is why I broke it up. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll probably stream this one, so I'll save this one for a stream night, and we'll see how that goes. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Oh, I did, in case you're curious, we recruited Sotraz. He's our new one. I haven't given him any equipment yet. Let's just do that quick. Hey, Sotraz, you're new to the team. You should have some... This is another frequent commenter on our channel. You can have that, and you can have the noisy grinder. It's really loud, but it's pretty good. And that's all of our HE and higher weapons that I will actually use, because these things are terrible. We still have one person with a TEF, but we're pretty much all equipped with HE or higher at this point. We even have one spare armor. Unless someone is still wearing TEF here, but no, we're not. We're just got one person with a TEF weapon, and everybody's in HE or higher armor. So I can recruit more people. These 3 are my throwaways, and I should use one of them in here. Let me just add them here, because I need lots of, if we do suppress here, we need a lot of backup on the sides, because there's nobody that just hangs out by these things. Anyway, we'll talk about that next time. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you've enjoyed, and have a great day. I'll see you next time with more action.